Welcome back across space and time into the depths of Star Trek in our iteration of the quadrant known as the universe, the Captain's Quadrant. With me this week is our friends Jason and Jason, not the law firm. You may know him this week as Captain Rod McThroatpunch and Operative Jason. I'm Captain Joe Dove, and thank you for joining us. A quick hello, everyone from Prestige Media Group. So, hi there.
That sounds prestigious.
It does.
It says like Prestige Worldwide.
Yeah,
right? I feel fancy now.
Well, then, let us venture into first contact.
Were you actually throwing to the first segment there? I just thought it was a poorly timed joke.
Thanks.
Droll.
Well, this week was the none other than it's KB Games. That's who it is. Prestige person. So that's nice. But this week was the return of a favorite of the show where they make their own movie.
Yes.
Crisis Point 2, which they use
answers a stupid Star Trek question from a couple of weeks ago.
What's that?
Were there films in the Star Trek universe?
Yes, that's right. That was a question. Yeah.
That was obviously the animators saw that. They worked around the clock in 2 weeks to provide that answer for
Yeah, they did.
I appreciate it.
They totally did. Yeah.
All hail the Vindictiverse.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Now, if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, I am officially the captain. I've got Pips and the police are here, so I've got to go. No.
Finally.
They've arrested me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the end of Bonnie Python. So I'm just going to make sure I don't have anyone have a seizure watching our show. Yes. So what just
happened?
What did you guys think of the episode?
Look, I'll start it off. It was hilarious. It was fun. I mean, if you're talking about references, this thing is reference city. If you blink, you miss a reference in this episode. But it was fun, you know. The B plot and the A plot were running parallel to each other. Both had different stories. Both collided together appropriately. It was. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Captain up there thinks, but I thought if there were any problems you had last week, I thought this week was a nice palate cleanser for me. Anyway.
Captain McThroatpunch,
season best, possibly even a series best.
Oh,
I have a very high opinion of this one. Not only was it funny, not only did it tell a great story, I think that it had a great message delivered in a wonderful, wonderful way.
Oh my! Did I enjoy that cameo?
Yes,
unexpected. George Takei? Was that actually?
It was him? George Takei. Yes.
Oh wow! Wow!
I thought for a moment we were going to get the big Shatner. You know, I thought, wow, Shatner's going to be here, but nope. No, it's me, Captain Sulu.
Yeah,
even better. So there was some shade being thrown.
There was
definitely. But don't you just love?
Takei enjoyed that joke.
Oh, you know.
Yes. But see how much of an understanding he has sense of self that he threw in, like he's okay with them going. And the line is, you must say, "Oh my" first.
Oh
love the fact
of course I
that
do.
Catchphrase.
Listen, if there's money in it, I will say anything you want. Anything.
What?
That's true.
You think Captain Takei, Captain Sulu, does that to himself? You think he's
if somebody paid me money to say a catchphrase, I would say the catchphrase.
Yeah, I'd say it all day long.
All right.
Hey,
every
guys,
time I say "oh my," they have to pay me $3,000. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my!
Oh my! Oh my!
I could have just paid off your car with what I just did here. Oh my! There's an entire semester of your child's education. Go ahead and make fun of George Takei. Oh my! How will I ever survive?
Yeah. Actually, before we go ahead,
oh, okay.
Sorry. I just wanted to address something. I'm getting a few people kind of commenting to me in my own social about how I was going with Star Trek the motion picture. So I just wanted to show you where I'm currently at. it's going to be worth it. I really feel watching this, it's going to be worth it in the end.
Oh,
but we're getting there. We're almost at the end of that.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, go on.
Hey, you know what? We're making fun of it, but that is such a beautiful scene.
It is.
I love
it. Is.
I love Starship porn. I love it.
It's a long crawl, I tell you.
Yes, it is, and I love every moment of it.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
I had a lot of fun this episode. It was the one I was really looking forward to for the season, especially because they had this in the trailer where he Rutherford was like, "You gotta have the chips," and that's like such a thing that I do. So I was like, he and I are
kindred spirits. Yes.
We're the kindred.
Rutherford was so oblivious in this episode.
Yeah,
in fact, he became to me. I was almost annoyed at Rutherford. I was so on Tendy's side there. It's like, dude, be in the moment, will you? And but he
was the guy who would talk in a movie theater.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's nice to see that some things are consistent even on the holodeck. There's
look at those graphics.
There's some great stuff. And even him trying to put on when the credits come up in the beginning and he's trying to work a voice that he might use.
Yeah. Oh,
I think I'll just stick with
that. That was great.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do like horror episodes on the Star Trek if Rutherford would be the guy going, "Don't go in there, the killer's in there."
Yeah, he totally would.
If I don't go in there, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I just got to say, my highlight for this episode was the return of what we know as the Enterprise E, but this is the Wayfarer, I believe, right? The Wayfarer.
And beautiful looking ship, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did a great job. But look how awesome that looks.
The Sovereign is such a beautiful class of ship.
It is. It really is. And what's that little? Can you put that back up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
That little purple thing at the bottom. What is that?
What little purple thing?
You see that right above the deflector disc?
I think that's just a reflection of light or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Could be.
I think we would be remiss without finding the most immature sight gag in the entire episode. Because I did not find it. Somebody on TikTok found it.
Oh yes, here we go. I don't have a shot of it.
The registry number of the Wayfinder.
Yeah,
was NCC
I saw
800.
Aaron Sugar beat you to it. Yeah. Or AKA nice boobs. Nice boobs.
Yes, nice boobs.
Fantastic.
Nice boobs.
I honestly think that is probably the lowest that the show's ever gone with humor, but the fact that it was so understated, you know, it just I didn't even notice it at first. Somebody had to point it out. Then I went back to the episode. I was like, no way. Oh my gosh, it says boobs.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's the thing is like a lot of dudes who go, I'd do that.
I totally do that.
Highly relatable.
Yeah. I totally do that.
There we go.
All right, let's hop into pros and cons.
Oh, we're not doing an episode summary this week?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Maybe I should have my sheet open. I need my type. All right. Crisis Point 2, Paradoxus. Paradoxus.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Reading is good. Boimler's holodeck movie sequel tries to live up to the original. Very
pretty
straight to the
simple
point.
synopsis, Captain.
Yeah.
By the way, Captain Rod, I think we've got to hide the Romulan ale from the other captain. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I gotta
Send
hide
it to me, Captain McThroat Punch.
hide that and all this tasty treats because I'm barely fitting into my uniform. It keeps opening up. So it was a lot of fun. Let's go pros and cons, man.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Wow. Let me tell you.
Let's go into the pros and cons.
Yeah. Big pro for me was seeing that beautiful Sovereign class. That was one of my big pros.
I'll bring it up again so you saw it.
Yeah, so nice.
Can I just mention too, all our images and everything we get, resource information comes from Trek Core. I just want to give an opportunity.
Great website.
I'll shout out this website every week we're doing this because it's where I get all the stuff. And they're just so good at what they do over there. So thank you guys.
Yeah. All right. I also like how it diminished the look of the Cerritos. I thought the Cerritos was a cute little ship, But then when that Sovereign class came up to save the day, it was like, oh, I forgot how much I love the look of the Enterprise.
But let's not throw too much shade on Cerritos.
No.
I'm falling in love with that ship quite a lot.
Slowly, but
I love the Cerritos.
Yeah. But once the E came up, it was it was really.
Yeah. I mean, Sovereign is just next level, but the Cerritos, I don't care if it's impractical. I love the ship. I love it.
Yeah,
it's perfect for the show.
It's it feels like it's the underdog ship.
It is. It is
a
totally
ridiculous, dumb little ship that should not make any sense, and yet I don't know. I love her. I love the ship.
Me too.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Reliant and with the saucer section of the D.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like they kind of merged a little bit. They made it a little bit more chunky.
Well,
like
that's Star Trek ship design, isn't it? It's everything. What's great about the consistent design over on Star Trek is you can feel everything has come from something else. Everything feels that organic growth, that design growth from the military.
Yeah. And
I like that the Cerritos feels old in the Star Trek design scheme because it feels like it was made during the time of Next Generation and they've never updated it. I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they're well known Starfleet to some ships. If they're okay and they're doing okay, they'll cross a few generations, don't they?
Yeah,
we do have some ships that are still around.
Yeah, like
generations later.
The Excelsior is still kicking. They still have that class of ship, and they have the Excelsior 2 in the new Picard series. So,
which was a really cool update.
Yeah, and that's a very cool update.
Can I mention one of my big
go for it. Yeah,
for this episode because I want to talk about this, and it's such a minor thing, but damn, I love these uniforms.
I was just gonna mention that. I was like, they've made some type of blend.
I want that
the DS9.
Uniform.
It is a cool uniform.
They blended DS9's uniform with the Next Gen uniform, and the lower decks. They like merged the three of them. I loved it.
I just love it.
It was great.
It looked good. I think it would look really good live action as well.
I think it's a Star Trek Online uniform, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they're really plucking a lot of online stuff lately. They really are.
They're mining that resource quite a bit.
They were like, you know what? You guys did a lot of cool stuff, so I'm going to take some of this.
We own it anyway. We're just gonna,
exactly.
We're gonna take this. True. We need an Enterprise F. There we go. We're gonna take that.
Yeah. And there's a new Klingon Federation ship that came out this weekend. I don't know if I sent that to you or not.
Yes, the Gorkon. I believe.
The Gorkon. Yes,
very cool looking ship.
It's called the Kittimer class, and it's a hybrid between a warbird or Klingon bird of prey and a Federation starship. So,
considering I wasn't part of this conversation, if there are not pictures, it didn't exist.
I didn't send it to you.
I'm talking for the audience as well. If you don't have a picture on it, doesn't exist.
I'm pretty sure you have a TikTok message that you need to read, but
I did say I just haven't done it yet.
Okay, good.
Let's focus back.
I gotta talk about my pro, if you don't mind.
Yes.
What I think really elevated this episode was Boimler dealing with the death of his transporter clone, because this episode really took a fundamental question about life and made it the crux of Boimler's arc, and he went through an entire emotional arc in this episode, kind of like the way that Mariner did in the first Crisis Point episode. This time he's dealing with death and the uncertainty of death. And I think that the way that it all unfolded and eventually resolved itself with that beautiful conversation with Captain Sulu, which unfortunately has taken on new meanings since the unfortunate passing of Nichelle Nichols, I thought it was beautiful. I mean, definitely a high point of the entire series was that conversation with Sulu. And I don't know, it's not me being pessimistic, but this is probably very likely the last time we'll ever see George Takei as Sulu. And so Sulu's last line will be, "The horsey's going to bite you now."
You never know.
He would love that, though. Let's face it. George Takei would love that.
It's like, hey, Shatner, your last line was, "Oh, mine." Mine was, "The horsey's going to bite you now." People will be quoting me forever.
I don't know.
Well, what's your catchphrase, Takei? It's "Oh my." You stole that from me. Oh my.
Oh wow. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
It was beautiful, though.
It was.
Yes, it was. The lighting, the music, everything was beautiful.
Yeah.
I ended up watching this episode twice because the last bit, and I have one con, and the last bit where Boimler's clone has now joined Section 38.
31?
31, Section 31.
Yeah,
Why did I say 38?
I've never heard
I have no idea.
They've gone up. What is Section 32? It's to 37.
I think Section 38 is the tax code. I don't know.
Yes. So why do we have a black badge? And if we want to be, not.
That's a great line, dude.
It was a great line. Great line. But
I've been asking that since Discovery.
It threw me off when I first saw it because I don't know, maybe I have a short attention span, guys. And sometimes I get distracted, and I think I got distracted. And I came back, and it was like, wait a minute. Is this back in the simulation, or is this... and so I watched it again, and it was actually the clone, the transporter clone.
You have to have a cliffhanger. They already set it up.
But that's...
You're making a trilogy of films, which they're implying.
Right.
You've got to leave the second episode in a hell of a cliffhanger.
But that was actual clone Boimler. So that's happening outside. So now we have the answer to where exactly is the Defiant. Well, the Defiant is with Section 31.
If that was the Defiant.
It was
just been another Defiant class ship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Was it the Defiant or?
Sure, it was.
Because I never saw any labeling.
I don't think that there was any
they
markings on it.
They scratched it off just to.
Yeah, I mean, could be possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look.
Actually,
the Defiant, right, designed to go to war, like one of the fastest ship, a ball killer, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't just make one, right?
Yeah, in theory, you wouldn't.
Like even the Emperor made 2 Death Stars. I mean, come on.
There were other Defiant class ships in the last few episodes of Deep Space Nine.
Right, because the last Defiant was a Sao Paulo.
Yes.
Named after a city in Brazil.
There you go.
Yeah, because the first one was destroyed. So
yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Gut punch.
And that's your con, though. It was a con because you felt it was out of place. Why is it a con?
It was a con because the consistency is like, wait, are we... Like, I understand the setup, but now that they plucked it out of the simulation...
Okay, so you felt we were in that movie side of things.
Right.
You pulled us out.
And now you have
really
this
do
cliffhanger.
A job of that.
Right. And you have this cliffhanger thing going on. You would think that they would have left that in the simulation, but in fact, it's, happening in their actual time. So
another
kind of threw me off.
There's so many pros, so I'm just going to go into some of my highlights here. Tendi,
go for it.
Tendi, beautiful. Like the fact that she finally comes out and says that she wants to be a captain. I love her.
And she would make a great captain. She would.
Yeah. And she would. And that's what was beautiful in that moment. As soon as Rutherford understood that, heard that, he flipped 180. So instead of being a jerk, he was like, "Oh, right, I would love to serve under you." And we got that really great wrap up where she turned back time, literally went back in time and swapped out the bomb for by the way, the Romulan trap, though. I mean, you're even taking references from Nemesis. I love this stuff. Don't you? Yeah, I just did little things, And before we get into the reference side of things, I also loved, that little moment where I thought they were going to go down the Cybot thing, where Boimler, because he got that guy with the map, and then the guy goes, "All right, well, let's get the rest of the followers," and he's like, "Yeah, let's go get them." And I thought, "Oh no, they're going to go down, lead to," which we do. We get a lot of Star Trek 5 references.
Yeah.
But I particularly love that little moment where he's walking down the alleyway and there's all these, what were they? NPCs, non-playable characters?
Yeah. Non-playable characters, yeah.
I love the fact one of them was talking about the Great Koala. Every time there's a reference to the Great Koala, I just smile.
The Great Koala is, in the background, someone literally holding a koala.
Yeah.
Oh, and the biggest pro of this episode, Australia, for the first time I believe, was recognised in Star Trek.
Really?
You name whether they have ever gone to Australia in Star Trek. They did in this episode. 1982 Australia, Sydney, in fact.
Huh.
Wow.
Check it out because
wasn't Tom Paris's prison in Australia, or was that somewhere else? Yeah, in the first episode of Voyager.
We weren't there, though, were we? We weren't there.
Well, I mean, she goes to the prison. I just thought it was in Australia.
In Australia?
I don't know. Maybe it was New Zealand.
Prestige Media or Aaron Sugar. Was Tom Paris in All right, yeah, here we go.
I'm wrong.
They went to Sydney where they fought the punks. So that's in this
literally
episode.
what we just said.
Right.
Yeah,
but
we just said that. Yeah. I thought
that was also another one of my favorite
Shetsunari?
Sulu lines.
Yeah.
No. We saw that in this episode where we were wondering if was Tom Paris in a prison. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's highly offensive, mind you, in Australian. to the fact that we became so de-evolved that we went back to being a colony.
Oh yeah, you went back
like a prison colony.
Oh
like,
no!
What the hell is that?
Oh no!
I mean, it was bad enough in this episode. The Australians were, I'm going to knife you, because that's a common thing now. We carry around big knives, and
and there's not an aquarium around the opera house, from what I hear.
Actually, you know what? I thought about that, and there is an aquarium in a couple of bays down from where the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So not entirely accurate demographically, but just to see the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Star Trek, I'm sorry, as an Aussie, that thrilled me to tears. I love that.
Oh, so the place where Tom Paris was, I think it was in New Guinea.
There you go, New Guinea. Yeah, see,
he was in New Zealand.
Oh well.
Oh,
sorry, Kiwis. Yeah, that could totally turn into a prison.
New Zealand, Australia. What's the difference?
Isn't that where they do the Lord of the Rings?
Canada, USA. What's the difference?
There is no difference. One has healthcare and the other one doesn't.
Except they're nicer.
Yeah, they're much nicer.
Unless people dive with guns up there.
Yeah,
that is true. Yes.
More serial killers up there now, but we'll get into that.
There's more hockey-related violence up there than there is in America.
Yeah, but that seems like. But they always seem to say sorry afterwards. Oh, sorry, and they have a beer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Any big other standouts, Jace? Come on, you got some standout stuff from this episode.
Oh my gosh, there was so many standouts in this. I love Jack Quaid's vocal performance in this episode. I mean, he really sold. Usually, Boimler is screaming or desperately trying to stay out of danger. Incidentally, the background graphic back there, that was the background graphic in that episode, and that's a Luna class ship behind him. So I guess they changed it to a Sovereign at the last minute. But
nice catch.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know, this one there was a desperation in Boimler, but it was not his usual desperation. It was more like, I need answers, please God, give me answers. And Jack Quaid really sold it. I thought that he did some amazing voice work in this episode. And of course, any episode with Dr. Tiana yelling at people was great.
Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
The fact that people have to go to sick bay because they get dehydrated on the holodeck, I found that very
hilarious.
Funny because my son actually went to the emergency room one time because he got dehydrated playing Fortnite. So
yeah,
wow,
that's another thing that hit home for me right there.
Wow, that's funny.
No, but she's an amazing character, isn't she? Really?
Yes, she
is. It's just, because you couldn't really do that character anywhere else but this show, I think.
No, and that's a shame because I love her.
Yeah,
so much.
It is a shame. Yeah.
I want a Dr. Tiana spinoff.
Is there an unbleeped version of this? Is there an uncut version of this show?
The only time I've ever seen them release any kind of clip with the profanity cut out was the first Crisis Point. And it was because there's this one scene whenever the chief engineer, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The chief engineer and Rutherford kind of bond as they're trying to save the ship. Yeah. And as they walk off together, Dr. Tiana says, good for you, you couple of, and it's bleeped out, but you hear the part. Well, people thought that she was saying an anti-gay slur. And so they're like, no, she said the F word. Here's the unbleeped version.
Assholes.
No.
There goes a couple of assholes.
Yeah, there goes a couple of, and then they bleeped it. People thought that she was saying
had the F syllable.
People thought that she was saying a bundle of sticks.
Yeah,
but
Andy Billups is the chief engineer.
Yeah, Billups, yes, but they ended up releasing the clip without the bleep just to say no. She just said the F word. She didn't say a bundle of sticks.
It's sad that we go as a society straight for the that show is really. So what you think? The couple of hundred people and the studio that run their show, they're all anti-gay. Not only anti-gay, but aggressively anti-gay. That they're going to put that kind of slur. You're crazy.
No,
you're crazy. Like,
no.
They're not.
Well, the fact that Mariner is a member of the community, and that you've
Of
got
course.
every other character on Discovery,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's pretty unbelievable to be honest. to even
Yeah, I know, it's
suggest
ridiculous
that.
how people think sometimes. By the way, here's another thing I want to mention how much I love too. The female
Oh,
character.
yeah,
She's
she
dressed.
was-
Is she dressed like
It's
what's her
Carol.
name from Star Trek 2?
Carol Marcus.
Yeah. Carol
Yeah,
Marcus.
Not
she's
only
dressed
that,
like
but
Carol Marcus,
the
right?
entire set is from Star Trek 2. They even had
It
the
is,
most
isn't it?
important
it is.
prop.
It is.
They even had the most important prop in the world, the little lights that go up and down
Yeah,
for
yeah,
no
the
reason.
laser thing, which is in
Yeah.
every science fiction show
Yes.
ever.
Yep.
Oh, and the recreation of the the Star Trek 2 graphics was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
Even to the point they had dirt on the film. I just love that so much.
They did a great
by the way,
job.
that is a massive pro for this. Every time you're in the film of this episode, every time you're in Crisis Point, there's marks over the film. There's even the cigarette burns in the corner
Yes.
to
And
indicate the end of one reel to change to another reel.
And it's in a different aspect ratio.
It's in a
And what I
3:9
thought-
aspect.
What I thought was funny, whenever Mariner has her argument with Boimler and she leaves the holodeck, as the doors open, she has to step over the black bar to get out. That was such a great joke.
Yeah, and something that could have just gone straight over your head.
Yeah, and for the first time it did. Whenever I rewatched it, I was just like, "What is this she's stepping over?" And the second time I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's stepping over the black bars." Just love
Well, guys,
it.
hey, Captain, should we move to 10 forward?
Let's move to 10 forward.
Before we do that, we've got to take a break, don't we?
Oh, let's
have a word from our sponsors.
Let's have a word.
Hello out there. I'm Mr. Sulu of Star Trek. When I'm out in space, I use the Starship Enterprise to get around. When I'm here in Milwaukee, I ride the bus to save time and money. Your $5 weekly pass is a great buy. Your bus tickets, the greatest. Take it from a man who knows. Your Milwaukee County transit system is really out of this world.
Come ride with us on the bus.
And y'all were
Thank you
saying
from
he wouldn't
Milwaukee
say
County
"Oh
for
my"
sponsoring
for
this
money.
episode.
Come on.
Wow, thanks, Milwaukee.
Just for the record, Brad, I've never ridden a bus in my entire life.
How could I not? How could not a spot if we were going to talk about Sulu? Because you had to have something from Sulu.
Yeah.
Man,
And now I see in that version of the first Star Trek. Now I see the transformation of the red monsters from the original suit.
The Monster Maroons.
Yeah, the Monster Maroon. That uniform was
a
terrible.
cosplay uniform if I've ever seen one.
But it looked that you can see
it
the
wasn't
transition.
fitted correctly at all. No tailoring done.
Nope.
Great uniform you've bought me.
10
What did you
forward, so I'm
spend? Like
sure-
$4.50
Let's
on
get
this?
into it because we've got a lot of comments.
Yeah, we've got a lot of comments, and I'll be curious to hear what Worf and Riker think about Sulu's uniform.
This is terrible.
I like it.
Yes.
Worf likes it.
Yep. Our friend KB Games has now become Prestige Multimedia Group. Very well done. I love it. Yes, it was a great episode. Many of the sequel references with shots fired at the Kelvin timeline track.
Oh, what did we miss there? What am I missing?
I don't really think it was shots fired. I think it's more loving,
Oh, yeah, because they
ribbing.
do mention it. Hey,
Yeah. One matter of note. And then it's Iowa, not Idaho. Other than that, Takei was great.
Now,
yes.
It was Iowa.
It was Iowa.
Was Kirk's Ranch in Iowa though? Did they ever say that in the movie?
Yes. In
Really?
Star Trek Generations.
In Generations. They say it in
It's in Iowa?
Generations.
I'm pretty sure. I remember that.
But are there mountains like that in Iowa?
Yeah, that seemed very Colorado-like.
I've never been
Idaho.
to. I've never been.
That looked more like Idaho than Iowa to me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm really glad that Sulu wasn't
Hey,
spoiled.
I'm Australian,
for me.
and even I know that Idaho's the home of the potato, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Idaho's potatoes. Yeah, that's where we
Yes.
get all our French fries
Aussie
from.
mic drop.
Aussie
mic drop.
Aussie mic drop. Yeah, I was glad that they didn't get spoiled.
Yeah,
for me, too.
if they had spoiled Sulu, like if they'd put it in a promo clip or something, that would have been really disappointing.
I would.
It was such a delightful surprise at the end.
It was a surprise, and I love it.
Boobs.
Boobs.
Nice boobs. We've been over that.
Yeah. Almost
Good
as
as
good
my
as
version.
my version. Yes, Prestige. You've got some magic. Just a
Okay.
reflection.
Okay, I have no reference to what all this is. My whole
The purple thing.
Because he's talking.
yeah. Well, we should mention Prestige Multimedia Group are currently working with Captain's Quadrant, and we're developing.
I picked a Constitution class personally. I was outvoted.
Wait,
he was outvoted.
Yeah,
But I'm not bitter.
But I've got to get it out there. Prestige Multimedia Group are currently working on some unbelievable graphics for us, video, computer-generated imagery, and lots come later down the track. But really exciting stuff. Great work.
I've seen some previews. It looks amazing.
2023.
Why did you pick the Galaxy class if you love the Sovereign class? Because I still love the Galaxy class.
Same. Yep.
I still love it. I know it's a cruise liner. I get it.
Yeah. There's a ton of kids on it. F them kids. That's what the Enterprise E did. I still love it. Cosplayers everywhere. Screen. Yes, there's going to be a lot of Crisis Point 2 costumes this
man, that uniform. I'm telling you, it's
cool.
Gorgeous looking.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Boimler's clone is named William.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
How's the face when they showed when he spins the screen and it shows the KIA killed in action? I just love the photo they used of the clone Boimler.
That was really
Why
good.
would you use that image?
Yeah.
I want to know what 31
class,
wants with them, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jason, what did you say?
I said I want to know what 31 wants with William, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
I mean, is he really that good of an officer?
Well, okay, the question is, how many clones are there that are as functional as Boimler?
Thomas and William.
Yeah.
And Thomas went bad too. Maybe it's like whenever you make a copy of a copy, it kind of degrades.
Goes bad. And if you've got a copy of a copy, that's got to be advantageous in Section 31, what you can do with that. It's got to be.
So.
Because then you've always got, he was on the Cerritos. So you can kind of always having a great alibi. Well, we saw the Sydney Opera House, mate. I saw that Opera House straight off the bat.
Well, yeah, that's your homeland. Protection. Interesting. Looking at episode right now to confirm.
He's doing his research.
Yeah. Good call, Aaron.
Yeah.
She says crazy fuckers.
In that. Okay, go back.
Yeah.
There's
no community in Trek.
I
just.
I don't know what he's saying. This feels like random.
This is the LGBT. Yeah, exactly. Talking about Mariner and most of the cast of Discovery. So
you really don't ever see any homophobic, people on Star Trek. They're just the people who are watching it.
Yeah,
it would be so counterproductive for something that's heading towards its 60th anniversary.
Yeah,
right, and was progressive back then. At any point in its career, if it was anti-messaging, any kind of community or group, it is so opposite what Star Trek represents. So, again, we keep saying this all the time. Of course, Star Trek woke. It's woke from the beginning.
Yeah,
that's why we love it.
Yeah,
the moment that we saw Uhura on the bridge, that was woke Trek right there.
All right, so Idaho is not mountainy. That's confirmed.
Not mountainy. Okay.
I've never been there.
We are plowing through these. I'm just seeing them pop up, and I'm not even reading half of them, dude.
Galaxy
you're
class
way too
is
quick.
Galaxy class
Galaxy
is just
class
sexy.
Is just sexy. It
is. Thank you, subscription
it's because
pirate.
Of the shape. I think the shape's so organic. It almost feels like it's more than a machine. It feels alive in some ways because of that organic shape.
Yeah, the captain in
Idaho's. It was his uncle's barn.
Ah, very good.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Work on that one.
Yeah, and there
are less mountains in Iowa. Mate, this turned into a geography show.
Yeah, right.
It is just sexy. It is.
It is.
In fact, Prestige Worldwide, your actually CGI iteration of our ship, which is a Galaxy class, when the light hits that hull, oh my God, it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous.
God, yeah.
So that's all the thing. And we've lost the captain. The captains are currently on a secret chat by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Just near Coeur d'Alene. I have no idea what that is about at all.
That is a place in the United States. Welcome back.
He has returned. I think Captain had some boogers yet to deal with. That's what
He had some special space
boogers,
monsters.
you know, some
Yeah. You okay there, Cap?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
You're
cool.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's head. Into
We've gone
features.
through all the messages then.
We've gone through all of them. All 75.
Okay, then I suppose we're going to move into future speculations.
I ask you, Captain, what conclusion would you draw?
I never
Now,
get enough.
you know what has been released, guys? The titles of the last 2 episodes.
Oh,
I
look
should
at
have
that.
had on top, so just bear with me as I bring them up.
Go for
But
it.
they have released, so that'll help us hopefully kind of come up
with some future speculations. Well,
concepts of what it is. So
I think
next episode's called Trusted Sources.
trusted source.
Trusted Sources.
Sources.
Plural.
And then the last episode is called
Is called The Stars at Night. But
that doesn't do
Trusted
anything.
Sources. If I click into that, so I'm having a look, I'm cheating. Of course, I'm at Trek Corp. A visiting reporter on the Cerritos puts Captain Freema on edge.
Ooh.
So that is what next week episode is about. And they've got have they got any promotional photos? Not yet. So that's good. That sounds like the captain being paranoid because the reporter's finding things about the ship. I mean,
Kind of reminds me of those old
it.
episodes of Babylon 5 where the news crews would show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And the fact that Cerritos very much feels put together by gaffer tape and
And a prayer. Yeah.
And the captain would be very nervous about a reporter maybe opening up corners of that ship. You know?
I just knocked something down.
Was it
Yes,
you or was
something's
it your
been
friendly
knocked down.
ghost in that?
No, it was me.
Oh, okay. it's that spooky time of year, so I was kind of hoping it would be.
No, it's been quiet on that front.
So, do we get any with this show? Do you feel like the continuity from episode to episode that we do get arcs in this? And the reason I'm asking this of you guys is, do they reference what Boiler went through the previous episode in the next episode?
I don't see why not.
No, I
Like
mean,
Tendi, do they deal with Tendi wanting to become? Because that's got to be a character arc now.
Yeah, I mean, there's character arcs on this show. The fact that we had anything about Brad dealing with William's death in this episode, that's carryover from previous episodes.
It's actually quite
and this episode itself was a sequel. So I mean, yeah, we've got carryover.
Yep, there's the answer to it.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think it's
the William clone is a good aspect of things carrying.
I
over.
think you save that next step now because you've set up a couple of cliffhangers now, haven't you?
Yeah, there's quite
You've
a few.
You've got the AI cliffhanger from
from
and now
last
you've got
week.
the cliffhanger with Boiler. So maybe this all culminates in a final episode.
And don't forget, we've also got Mariner being tempted by the archaeologist to leave Starfleet because she did save that number in her pad as well.
That's right.
She did. When she had the option to delete, she kept it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
And
so it's going to be interesting.
Don't forget, we got that big crossover episode. I know it's mainly Strange New Worlds, but I have a feeling they're going to have it somehow interconnected.
Well, and again, I think you already answered this, but I'm going to ask again because I'm old and I forget. It's primarily, this is not like a CW thing where you see the first part on the Flash and you see the other part in Supergirl, and then you've got to watch the crossover event.
No,
yeah, it's just a Strange New World episode.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel? I don't know if it feels odd, and I love how bold they are with Strange New Worlds. That they are kind of doing that. It wouldn't feel like a normal Star Trek show. Oh, we're going to bring on the comedy and make that part of our show. Like I think everyone was shocked at that, right? Well,
I was because
we're going to see the guys in lower decks and not vice versa.
Right, because the other thing is they're in different timelines. Their Pike is 100 some odd years before.
Ah, yeah, but Star Trek, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can.
The wormhole can just fucking show up, and we're good.
My theory is that it's going to be holodeck. I think it's going to be a holodeck episode.
Well, what's that last episode of Enterprise that was just one holodeck?
We Are the Voyages. Oh, wouldn't that be funny for them to make fun of We Are the Voyages? These are the Voyages.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that would be hilarious.
That would be terrible.
You know
they would. They would.
For sure. Oh well,
Well, they
Oh
keep
yes,
publishing.
here's another good one that we before we go.
Okay.
Rutherford's
And
implant.
Rutherford's implant.
Yes.
Uh,
100%.
I still
That's
think it was
ongoing
Section
storyline.
31 who did that. So we've got 2 connections to 31, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun. All right. That's it.
Is it time for my favorite?
Oh,
section?
yes, we are ready.
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions. Okay, here we go. This week, our stupid Star Trek question is, now I'm going to use the Aussie version of this.
The Aussie.
Do you get Maccas in Starfleet?
Yes,
McDonald's.
but only from a
McDonald's
Quark
restaurant.
2000.
My headphones officially have died, so now I have to. If you
Okay.
guys, if anybody's listening and there's a reverb, I apologize.
Okay, well, the question is, and I know it's a stupid Star Trek question. We would assume that the corporate entity of McDonald's is none to be.
Right.
Got nuked the hell out of in World War III, all right? We get that.
Next week. Oh,
But the recipes would exist, right? Do you think in the replicators, all the fast food that we grew up with and have eaten, well, it was in the 21st century, would exist? Could you get Carl's Jr.? Could you get Burger King? Could you get all that stuff in the replicators? Or would
Why
that
not?
be against Star Trek policy because of how unhealthy that stuff is?
Well, I mean, they serve alcohol.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they serve alcohol. You know, God knows what Worf eats in his own quarters. You know, I think that they could probably replicate it and make it not horrible for you.
Ah, yes. There you go. So you reckon they would come
Yeah,
up
they
with
just-
where it's actually nutritiously
All
it
either
would be the
beauty-
Impossible
plant-based.
Burger. Yes, it would be the Impossible Burgers all the time.
Oh,
Probably,
my
but
God.
why would you want it to?
Because man, sometimes you just got to get your Mac on.
Yeah, and it's
Dude,
all
do
Taco
you, though?
Bell.
Yeah,
Do
you
you
do
really?
occasionally.
They-
Hey mate,
the
I don't
motion,
get this
man.
fabulous figure by just eating veggies. All right.
It came from years of neglect.
I don't know.
But it's just the idea is how much of the past, and that opens up a bigger question in my mind of how much in the past do they keep in Starfleet's banks? You know what I mean? Could you get yourself a
Shake
a
Shack
drink
burger.
that was popular in 1772? Could you get?
Absinthe.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
come
what I
on,
mean?
we can go to Cracker Barrel and get candy from 100 years ago. Why not? Why couldn't they?
Yeah, why couldn't you? Yeah, I think that's pretty well. Yeah, that we feel that the replicator can replicate anything as long as it's programmed in there,
Yeah.
except for KFC. You wouldn't be at KFC because after World War III, those 11 secret herbs and spices recipe, Gonski.
McReplicator.
Replicator. You know, coming back to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know what we call it here in Australia? There's either 2 names for it: Dirty Bird
Dirty Bird.
or Depression Chicken. Because every time you eat KFC, you go into a spiral of depression afterwards. You do. You feel horrible. Life has no more meaning. So,
Like, why did I eat that?
yeah, why did I eat this?
Taco
Like
Bell.
around here, we call
It's called Taco Bell.
we call Chick-fil-A Bigot Bird around here.
I love that.
Bigot Bird.
I
That's
love
so
that.
perfect. That's so perfect.
So, yeah, the question is, unfortunately, and fortunately, depending on your side of the fence, junk food kind of exists.
yeah.
Counselor
In the
Troy
future.
ate loads and loads of chocolate ice cream every episode, so you know,
True.
Replicating.
replicating.
Yeah. But what type of? Hey, here's a question. Oh no, we've had that question. Would they have pineapple on pizza?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was an early question. So
Yeah,
of
I
course
think
they've had
pineapple on pizza would be the tamest thing they would have. They would have like, you know, gach on pizza by the 25th century.
When I was in
Yeah.
China, they had silkworms on pizza. That was a big.
they had what on pizza?
Silkworms.
Oh yeah.
okay.
No.
Let's do that. We have kangaroo meat pizza.
I figured I was gonna say you have either.
Dude,
wombat
kangaroo
or-
meat's a big thing here in Australia, dude.
Well, I
you
mean,
buy that in the supermarket, kangaroo meat.
we've got venison up here, especially because we have an overabundance.
We
of
like to
deer.
eat the flesh of enemies.
You know.
No wonder it's no wonder all the animals there want to kill you. It's because they know what will happen if they don't.
Because we
We're gonna take him out before he takes us out, mate.
Yeah, I saw a great TikTok, something about Australia, and they go, Why would you move to Australia? They lost the war against birds. And I thought, funniest thing I'd ever heard.
2 grubs
Because it's
Ferengi.
true. We lost.
Yeah.
We call it Jesus chicken. Why? Because you go, oh God, afterwards.
3 days later, it comes back.
3 days later, it comes back.
I think he was talking about Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, because that's
That's great. That's great. Oh, well, I'm happy with that as long as everyone's happy and agrees that that was, in fact, another.
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
And don't forget, gang, it's really important that you guys give us some more stupid Star Trek questions.
Yes, you can hit us up on all our socials in order to do that.
Mhm.
We are super happy. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've had a nice uptick from visiting the Comic-Con. We had a lot of fun.
Check that video out. Yep.
Yeah, and then you can always comment below your favorite segment of the show and your stupid Star Trek questions. And
Brilliant.
yeah, that's it.
And
That's
then
all I
when to
got.
find us is Booyah.
Yeah, you can find me at To Be Seen, Dis Dungeon, Captain's Quadrant, Spectrum Sanctum, all those wonderful things. You can find our good science officer or operative Jason at Pop Culture Spread.
I've changed my TikTok now.
Oh yeah, you have?
Yeah, it's to at VHS_Jace.
Ah, okay.
Not
I didn't know you could
Jazz.
change your TikTok. That's new.
Okay.
Our friend Annie, who couldn't make it tonight because she was saving the lives of young children.
Man.
You can find her at Vulcan Diver. She may be back in the future. And our good Captain McThroat Punch, you can find him at Jason Roy Gaston on all the wonderful socials or his own personal website, which is fantastic. I was hanging out there reading some of his wonderful writing. The guy is very smart, but we don't do that.
I'm very smart.
I'm smart.
Go get us some more of that.
I actually haven't updated Jason currently. Where I'm currently reading his book. Which
Oh, look at that.
I
I don't have it in the room. I was actually reading in bed last night. Great read. We'll
Look
talk
at that.
about
He
on another
takes you
show.
to bed with him. And he doesn't
Yeah, I
have to
do.
leave
It's
him
kind
a
of
crib.
weird, creepy. Yeah, it's absolutely. The wife has a lot of questions.
Yeah. All right, guys. Until next week.
We're going until next week. What? Oh, until next week, we're out.
We'll be back next week
Here, Cap.
with more Star
Amen.
Trek.
Awkward. We're leaving.